Right guys, I'm after stumbling across this vault here. Look at that. Totally overgrown. Wow, there's a massive coffin in there, guys. Hi guys, welcome back. So today I am here in Templecorran Old Church and Graveyard here in County Antrim. And we will take a walk around, and there's a couple of interesting old vaults inside the old church ruin. So we will go in there and explore that area. This is the Allen family from Island McGee, which is not far from here. George Allen. We can see 1896 underneath the urn part of it there in the grave. So I've researched this old graveyard here, and I've saw a couple of photographs, and I said to myself, I really want to come and do a video here, because inside that old church ruin, it looks very, very interesting. When I say interesting, there's a very elaborate looking vault in there that looks like a castle style. This is the family burying ground of Stuart McCaw. So anybody that's watching the video, I'm sure you hope to find some surnames in the north of Ireland here that could be connected to your own family. Who knows? So hopefully you'll see a couple of names. So just over beyond those trees then we have the Church of Ireland Church, and this is the older section here. So I'm going to go in this area. This little doorway is very, very small. I'm going to have to duck down here going in side, but this place in here is very, very interesting. Now that area that you see there with the rusty iron cover on it there, I'll put a picture over the video and show you what I mean. There was bars and that, like an iron bars on a window, and some of them are missing, but they seem to have covered that up. So I don't know if we'll be able to get a look inside, but it does look very interesting. But on the plaque above it says, we have the name Philip Fletcher, medical doctor, who departed this life March 1844 at Mount Pleasant in the 86th year of his age. Also his son Philip Fletcher, late captain in the ELOS, who died the 23rd of December at Belmont, 1850. In the just year of his age. So there we have that. So they put this thing like a metal sheet over the old crypt here, and I don't know, I probably won't get the angle to look in there. We'll see. It is difficult to see from that angle there. Whether I can see in here or not, I don't know. Probably won't see in there either. So anyway guys, We won't see in there, it's too hard. But we will read the other graves inside the old church room. So here is another one, example of a vault, and somebody has put graffiti all over this, RIP. So the plaque above is difficult to read. I think it's Dalway is the name on it. But we can see this part of it here, the chain. So they have put a new lock on this part of it. So we'll try and have a look in here and see what we can see inside the old vault. So that is inside the vault, guys. Now it does look like there's a window at the back, so whether I can have a look in that side, I might go around and see, because it is difficult to see through the hole there. Now there is a lot of history here in this old graveyard. So as we can see here, it says Templecorran Church. The ruined Templecorran Church is a medieval building erected on an early Christian enclosure site. This church became home to Ireland's first Presbyterian congregation from 1613 to 1636. The grave of the first Presbyterian minister in Ireland, Reverend Edward Bryce, is located here. And I believe that this is the grave here of Reverend Bryce, the first Presbyterian minister in Ireland. And he has this railing around his grave. And if I walk over this way, we can see the beautiful stonework on it there. So that is his grave. And just trying to get a date, we can see here a 1636 on that. And here we have the name Edward Bryce, 1636, so very, very old, that grave. Now this is the one I was talking about outside, this castle style burial vault here. And this is the vault of, it says Smiley on it. We can see the name there, which is an unusual name. And there is a gap on the door there, so I don't know if we'll be able to look in. We'll give it a go and see what we can see in there. It actually looks empty in there, guys. I don't see anything in there, which is strange. The vault actually looks empty. So I'm wondering what happened there. Why it's empty. Were the coffins removed from there? Because if we just look, there's a lock and chain. So they're keeping that door closed. But if there ain't any coffins in there, I don't know why they have it locked. Is it to stop people from just going in there maybe or something? I don't know. But it's a strange one. And that is the other one. That vault that's there. So that is the side of the old vault that we're looking in. All that grass on the roof of it. And there's some graves standing against the wall here. This is John Graham, in memory of his brother Joseph, who died in 1874, aged 24 years, and his sister Anne, who died in 1883, aged 37. So a lot of old graves in Templecorran Old Graveyard. And there's another one down here, and I'll take you over to see that. It's the grave of a United Irishman who's buried in this old graveyard. And as you can see, the views are spectacular from this old place. And I'll take you over that way. Beautiful scenery here in County Antrim. This is erected by Margaret Adrian, alias Graham, in memory of her husband James Adrian, who departed this life December the 11th, 1867, aged 82 years. And I loved inscriptions on these, like this one, erected by James Adrian in memory of his father and mother, also his only son John, who died 25th of February 1846, aged 20 years old. And look at those lovely angels at the top of the headstone. Right, so I'm going to take you over to look at this grave. Just over here of the United Irishman who's buried in the old graveyard. And that's his very large monument. So up the very top of it, there we have a set of keys, and we have the masonry symbols on it there as well, at the very, very top. So this is sacred to the memory of James Orr, the Bard of Ballycarry, 24th of April 1816, aged 46. So I don't know much, to be honest, about James Orr, but if I find anything, I will put it over the video. And actually, I think there's stuff written here, so we might be able to go by this. So this monument to the poet, patriot, and the philanthropist was erected by the contributions of various literate individuals in Broad Island, Carrickfergus, Island Magee, and the following Masonic lodges. The first stone was laid by the Reverend Glendy on the 24th of June 1831 in presence of the assembled brethren, and the work executed by W. William Fitzgerald Belfast. So just down here we have rededicated to the memory of James Orr and the people of Ballycarry. And what a beautiful monument it is. So James Orr was born at Manse Road in 1770 and died on the April the 24th, 1816. He was buried in a family grave at Templecorran, which remained unmarked until the 21st of June, 1831, When the foundation stone of the imposing memorial was laid, the monument was erected by public and Masonic subscription and built by William Fitzpatrick of Belfast for a cost of around £90. The Orr monument is the only one of two public Masonic monuments in Northern Ireland. Wow. So there we go, guys. An interesting walk around the old graveyard here. And we can see this area just here. I think that's the vault actually in there. You can kind of see in. The door is just over the other side of that. So there was bars in there. And I don't know if we'll see on the other side anything at all, but it's worth a look. So if we look inside there, we can't see very much. Now what I see with my eye in there is just stones and old debris and stuff. Old stones and debris and all that. So it's not possible to see that. So here we have a couple of graves left up again, the old church, erected by William Berry, in memory of his daughter Mary, who died in 1878, aged 31. And just in here we have 1890 William John Wilson to his grandmother. So very old graves. And we can see this one here, Ellen Barry, in memory of her husband John, who died in 1887. And they're protecting it with these bits of metal here to hold it up so it doesn't fall down and get destroyed. So there we have, from another angle, that very interesting vault, castle style, and that doorway there, I don't know what's going on. When I looked in there, it just seems to be empty, that vault. So maybe they were removed and reburied somewhere else. Maybe that was vandalized. People got in there and vandalized it as well. But very interesting, this old church. And actually the one there that we see the graffiti on it, I think I spotted something in there now. There might be a coffin or two in there, I'm not sure. I'll have to look on edit. Right guys, I'm after stumbling across this vault here. Look at that. Totally overgrown. The problem is that I don't think I'll be able to have a look in there because there's a huge hole in there. Wow, there's a massive coffin in there, guys. In that hole. I'm going to get around and come back. That's definitely worth a look in there to see. And it's actually a very unusual looking coffin. I've never seen one like it before. Inside there and all that overgrowth is a big huge vault. Crypt. And we can see the railing that goes around it. But I'm going to try and look at the name that's on it. If I can read it. So it says, this vault. Within this vault are deposited the remains of Mrs. Anne Lewis, 1819. Wow, that is crazy. So I'm going to try my best because the gate is locked, and as I was saying, I don't know if I'll be able to get in there to have a proper look, but I'm going to give it a go. Right guys, so this is inside the old crypt here that I found. Now the strange part about this is when I got back home to edit this video, my voice totally disappeared off the video, so you cannot hear me, so this is why I'm talking over it. But here we can see a child's coffin on the left with numerous coffins there as well, and one very elaborate one right in the middle of the old crypt here. A very interesting find. Right guys, that's the video here. I'm going to wrap up here in Templecorran Old Graveyard in County Antrim, and a beautiful grave monument to James Orr. So if you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up and the notification bell, and I'll see you all on the next adventure.